Well, hello and welcome back, and thank you for coming back today. Well, you've guessed it, Miss Oching Gracevia LaBouffe, that's her. She's in charge of the ship, and we're going to go on a little, well, joyride, should we say. We're going to take you on a little driving tour. We're going to exit the Cape of Paphos harbour, and we're going to go along the Tomb of the Kings Avenue, and we're going to finish in the wonderful little resort area of Tomb, losing my English, she's stolen my English, Coral Bay. And as we go on the way, hopefully I'm going to be able to give you some bearings and some sights along the way. Before we go, Gracevia LaBouffe, what have you got to say?
Hello everybody, how nice to see you again and again.
And again. Right, come on LaBouffe, let's go. That's it. Check the mirrors. Well, don't bother with the mirror bit, we're in Cyprus, you don't need to check your mirrors. Anyway, here we go. So we are in the downtown Cape of Paphos harbour area. That is the beautiful, beautiful blue Mediterranean Sea, and there's even a bit of parasailing going on. And that boat coming in is the Ocean Flyer. Yeah, that's the Ocean Flyer coming back in from its morning cruise. And there we go. Here we are. So we're coming along the road, and then we're going to take a left, and we're going to go up the road which takes us to the Paphos Mall, or known as the King's Avenue Mall, but people shorten it and call it the Paphos Mall. So just over here is where the new extension to the car park has been built, and that's where the Paphos sightseeing coaches get to park up. And then to the rear of this car park, if you look very, very carefully, you can see some big blue buses in the off-road piece over there. As we come round, you're going to see some more. And our understanding at the moment is that that is a purely temporary bus depot, and they're building a new one on Tomb of the Kings Avenue. So stick with us as we head towards that area now. Now this road here is quite famous for property sellers, Cyprus properties, West Coast have got a big boy along here, and that sort of thing. Anyway, Gracevia LaBouffe.
I would like to say about the temperature today. It's warm, but not that warm as it was the other days before.
Yeah, this week is a bit cooler.
It's a bit cooler.
That's sure, that's sure. It's about 32 degrees if you're wondering what it is, which obviously is perfect for sunbathing, but the humidity seems to be that little bit lower. And of course that's the problem, and that's the bit that makes you, if you're a lady, perspire, and if you're a man, sweat. So luckily for us at the moment, this week so far, the humidity is low, the temperature is still high. So stick with us. We are now coming into the area of some catacombs to our right, and to our left over there, that is the start of the Paphos Skywalk, which takes you up and over the road. If you're wondering what that structure there is in front of us, that is the Skywalk, which we've done 2 or 3 times. We've walked it the right way, the wrong way, we abseiled down it. Next time we're going to, I don't know, hopscotch down it. Right in front of us is the Cape of Paphos Mall, King's Avenue Mall, and we are going to go left along King's Avenue, which is this. Here we go. And along here we've got various restaurants, cafes, hire shops, doctors' surgeries, hotels. To our left now coming up is the Roman Hotel. We did a hit and run on that one. If you want to have a look, you've got a kiosk there, you've got another kiosk next to it, you've got a property rental business, and you've got Ben's Bar. Coming up here, you've got Cyprus Resales, you've got a hairdressing salon, you've got Prime Property Group, you've got Sunfresh Bakery, that's that one there, and you've got a new coffee shop opening called Coffee Brands. Gracevia LaBouffe.
One more idea for you, where to get and taste the
another coffee. Yes, that's right. People do have this belief, including my wife Marika, that all I do all day is drive around looking for coffees. To be honest, I do. I know every coffee shop in the whole of Paphos. I know, in my opinion, the good ones and the bad ones. Coffee Brands, to my taste, not so good. There's the King's Hotel, and that's owned by a Miss Nadia and a Mr. Harris, who happen to own the King's Restaurant in the Harbours area. See the connection? Yes, Mr. Ronnie, we now see the connection. There we go. How is it over there in the Holy Land? Right, here's a parade of shops coming up on both sides. You've got a very famous restaurant here. A lot of people who've been to Paphos know that place. That is Fat Mama's, and then next to it you've got Willie's Rib Ranch. Now, Fat Mama's puts on entertainment, hence it's very busy, and the other one does ribs. And then you've got an authentic Greek place, you've got a Chinese restaurant, and you've got a car hire, and then you've got Ocean's Fish Taverna, which is where we once went with one of our superstars, Mr. Dave Jono. And Mr. Dave Jono had a liking for something that was on the menu, shall we say, our man from Rotherham. Just leave Yellow Booth?
Oh, well, I was watching this man and the woman on bicycles, and I would like to say, please never do it, because they are not on balance. First of all, it's very dangerous. It looks this way, it's like a highway, you understand? And the woman didn't balance herself well before the stopping on the traffic light. I would say it's very, very dangerous. I know I was dangerous on the scooters, or how you call it, but I was more funny than dangerous, because
there we are.
It was both.
There's our humour for us again.
Mr. Paul,
anyway.
I've got an idea.
Have you?
We're going to Coral Bay.
Yes.
Why not to visit our friend George and Maria, donkeys?
We mean the donkeys, but what about Mr. Demetrius and his mum Sue?
Yeah,
yes. Right, okay. Stick with us and you watch your speed. Right, this is a very bad area in Paphos for getting done for speeding. Let me show you where we are. That's the Venus Beach Hotel over there to the left, and this is the dual carriageway that takes you out. What are you stopping for, Lou? Why are you stopping? Why? Domestic. The lights are on green. Do never stop, because unfortunately the reason why I started to raise my voice is we had cars behind us, and no insult to Cypriots, sorry, I am insult to Cypriots, I will, but they don't look where they're going. So if you come to a complete stop, you're going to get rammed up the bottom. If you don't believe me, go and get yourself a hire car or in your own car, you try it and see what happens. You're going to get rammed up your bottom. Do not come to a complete stop unless the tourist steps out in front of you. Otherwise, you're going to go to prison, obviously. But those lights were not on red. They don't just press the button. Sorry, Graciela, for shouting at you. But there was a man in a white BMW behind us who did not understand what you were doing. This is quite common in Cyprus.
You wouldn't explain to the people how
exactly.
It works.
Right. The driving in Cyprus, to use very simple words, is atrocious. Okay. Now I understand that certain parts of London it's not much better, but in the areas of the UK where I'm from and a lot of our subscribers are from, the driving is quite good. In Cyprus, it's absolutely atrocious. No one stops at red lights, no one stops for pedestrians, and guess what? No one looks at the car in front of them because they're too busy on a mobile phone or doing something, and they just run into you, and then they say it's your fault. So be very careful when you drive to Cyprus. There we go. Right. Anyway, here we are. On a lighter note, that is the private British school known as the Aspire. And that's where a lot of foreign children go, and locals, obviously, if they want to learn English, and if their parents can afford the school fees, which are around about €10,000 a year, which on the grand scale of things is quite cheap, especially if you want to send a child to public school in the UK, because we know that's going to cost you, well, 25,000 to 30,000. There we go. Here we are. This is the exit road from Tomb of the Kings, and we are coming into what's known as the downtown Clorica area, because Clorica has downtown by the beach and it has midtown with a village up in the centre. And you may have noticed, by the way, that the roads, not only are they dangerous to drive on, but they are absolutely atrocious in the surface of them as well. We are in a Mercedes E-Class. Yes, it's not a new one, but I do look after it, and it's the most comfortable car in the world. In fact, it's more comfortable to drive than a brand new E-Class. But even this E-Class cannot cope with the Sherlock Holmes of the roads of Paphos.
I would like to say this area that we are coming in, it's very green.
It is.
So I've rarely seen in Cyprus so many trees. And the other side especially.
Yes, there are a lot of trees. Now I've got a Gumbaro, a friend of mine, he's a Welshman as well, who lives up in Lissos, and he's probably going to be watching this video in a couple of days, and he's then going to get into his RAV4 with his chainsaw and come all the way down here, because he does like to cut down a good tree just in time for winter, because he likes to keep him and his wonderful wife Alison nice and warm.
Not in this heat, I think.
You'd be surprised what Mr. Ivor can do when you show him a piece of wood.
Mr. Ivor, he's blaming you all the time.
Yes. Anyway, how's your knee, Ivor? Take it easy, and Alison, please make sure you look after him and give him a nice cup of tea in the morning, that's for sure. Right, here we are. This surfaced area here, to be honest, is not too bad. This piece was redone a couple of months ago, and I wouldn't say it was perfect, but I wouldn't say it was too bad. So this is downtown Clorica, heading towards Kosonica area. To our right hand side there, you've got a premises called Premier Electrical. That's a British owned company, and they sell anything from an electric toothbrush to a washing machine to a cooker. Over there, quite interesting, that's a double-decker bus which has been converted into a coffee shop, and it has quite a nice view out the back, and to be honest, Coffee Me is quite a good coffee shop. So here we are at the St George traffic lights crossroads, and you've got various hotels. Just down there to the left, you've got the 4-star St George Hotel. Over here, you've got the Leonardo Beach Splash Hotel, which is actually called the Hotel Laura. Again, no one's actually, well, told us they're going to stay there. If you do, guess what? We'll go and do a hit and run. So stick with us as we continue on our trek to downtown Cato Coral Bay. Receive the other booth?
And if we go into Laura, we're going to be kicked out
Again.
again.
Yes, well, there we go. We've actually done a couple of hit and runs today so far, and they attempted to throw us out on both occasions. But don't worry, we managed to complete our films, and we're going to go back to another hotel hopefully afterwards, and hopefully it'll be 3 out of 3, because we actually think it's bringing a bit more fun to the video when they try to stop us. Obviously we don't swear or anything like that, we just duck and dive and continue on our travels, because nothing's going to stop us.
It's because I managed to lie.
Yes, and Recevia LaBouffe lies to them and says, yes, we are staying there.
Yes.
Why are we going so slow, LaBouffe? I'm confused. We're now doing 40 kilometres an hour in a 50, where you're allowed to do at least 60. There you go. Receiver LaBouffe's driving, well, what could we say? And her orientation.
Very well.
Yes, very well. Now, I think people understand I'm in trouble after this video. Oh, watermelon. You can buy watermelon from over there. But be careful when you stop. Just as a point here, there's people around the area selling watermelons on the side of the road. Now, there's nothing wrong with stopping and buying off them, but please make sure they've got a sign up that says how much it is. At the moment, it's around about 45 cents to a kilo. That's what that means, by the way, yeah? 45 cents per kilo or 35 cents a kilo. If there's no sign up with a price, drive away, because they are then going to charge you 150 a kilo, 250 a kilo, whatever it is. It's happened to me. I am that stupid. Yeah, I paid once 20 euros for a watermelon when I first got here. That's how stupid I was. I'm not much cleverer now, but I won't pay more than around about 50 cents per kilo, that's for sure.
Yes, actually, this is a price now. I think it's even cheaper.
In many cases, it's cheaper, yeah. So be warned, if there's no price, don't buy it, because they are going to charge you a silly price. Now, this is downtown Kissonaga. Various shops up and down. Now, you've got a shop over there which is called Revival, and it's got its own newspaper called Paphos Post. And on this side, you've got Paphos Computer, Florida's Spool, lose my English, Pools and Spa. And then down there, you've actually got a hotel called Cynthia Beach, and you've got the Sunset Breeze restaurant, and you've got the, how do you say that restaurant, LaBouffe? T-S-I-A-K-K-A-S? Tiscas? Wow, whatever it's called.
I can't see where you
There
see.
we are. She shouldn't be driving, should she?
It's Tsiakas.
Tiscas. There we are. There's the sign. It
It's
tells you where it is.
obviously very Greek. It's
Yeah,
not
it's very Greek.
Cyprus,
There we
it's
are.
very Greek.
And then here we've got a supermarket with the RAF coffee shop next to it. In my opinion, greatest coffee in the whole of Paphos. Some days I'll drive all the way from Paphos just there to get a coffee because it's nice. There we go. Stick with us.
About the price of benzene.
Well, in my opinion, they should put the price of benzene up. I'm not happy that the price is actually coming down again. I'd like it to go up.
What are they? These mountains, by the way.
Those mountains over there are the mountains up into Cathicus. That's what they are. Quite nice village up in there. To be honest, it's got quite a few restaurants in there. A bit of a tourist hotspot, and a lot of people have heard of Cathicus. And then as you go a bit further, you go to a roads, and then you drop down the other side of the mountain, and you end up in Polis, and well, Latchi first, and then Polis. Now, we are dropping down now to the Kissonaga traffic lights, and just after these traffic lights, you've got a beach bar, and that beach bar is called CU Beach Bar, and it's always very, very busy indeed, as is the Bayside, very, very large 24 hours a day kiosk, and it has its very own coffee shop, except I don't think the coffee's very good there, so I don't go there very often. There we go. Right, this it is. CU Beach Bar, right on the beach, and as you can see, the car park is packed. And the restaurant I can see is packed. and it's got its very own lifeguard post coming up now. There it is, brand new wood structure they've built for them. And there's deck chairs and umbrellas and all sorts, and there is the blue Mediterranean Sea. And anyone who knows this route now understands that it's very, very close to Coral Bay. In fact, the peninsula sticking out to the left over there, that is Coral Bay, and that has got various hotels on it and multi-million euro villas, obviously. So this is the last stretch of road before we will be entering Coral Bay, and I think after that we may stop in Coral Bay, go and see George and Maria, those are the donkeys, and we'll also go and see Mr. Demetrius and his lovely mum, Miss Sue, because I'm hungry.
Me too.
Yeah, you too? So we're going to have a look, because the Othello's restaurant, if you understand, that's where these donkeys hang out, and that's where Mr. Demetrius and his mum Sue are. The Othello's restaurant on the strip, the Coral Bay strip, in our opinion, is a very, very good restaurant indeed. It only opens for breakfast and it only opens for lunch. They've decided that at night time they're getting to a certain stage in their lives, shall we say, and they decided they don't really want the hustle and the bustle and all the noise and stuff's going on, so they do very well at breakfast and they do very well at lunch. So if you want to go to Othello's restaurant, breakfast and lunch, and they close ish around about 5ish. If they're still busy, obviously they'll stay open, but they're not going to be open at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, that sort of stuff, because Coral Bay Strip, as Miss Sue is telling us, it gets quite loud and, you know, it's not her cup of tea anymore. So stick with us. We are now approaching very rapidly the Coral Bay Strip. So we're going to go left at the roundabout. If we were to go right, we would go up into Paya, and if we went straight over the roundabout, we would end up eventually in the area called St. George. And just over the roundabout, if anyone's wondering about supermarkets, there is the biggest supermarket in the whole of Paphos, and it's called Philippos Supermarket, and it sells everything from food to boxer shorts to house furniture. And if you want to go out to eat it in a breakfast or lunch or at night, he's actually got his own restaurant called Phil's Diner as well. So this is the Coral Bay roundabout. We're going to go left straight into Coral Bay, as the sign now tells us. There it is. So let's continue on the strip, Christina Booth, and we'll name some of the restaurants. You've got the Renegades pub there, you've got the Rio Grande, you've got, I can't even say that one, but it's a very nice restaurant. You've got the iPhone iCave, you've got a taxi place, you've got the Coral Bay Health Clinic, you've got King's Supermarket on my left, you've got a gyros place, you've got Santa Maria's restaurant, you've got Crystal's, it goes on, you've got Chalky's Bar, it just goes on and on, non-stop bar, restaurant, gift shops, that sort of stuff. You've got Brader's hanging around, there she is. We'll have to come back and see her afterwards. And then you've got our favourite restaurant, which is Othello's. There it is. That's where we're going to be going very, very shortly, because we like it. So let's continue down the strip, and then we'll have a very, very big goodbye from Miss Ochi Recevia LaBouffe. And we will say thank you for watching. The last sort of restaurant on here is the Blazing Salads. There it is. Very, very busy as usual. And then after that you come to a Chinese, Indian, Thai restaurant. Then after that you come to the Absolute 168 Club. And then as we continue down, we are going to come towards the Coral Bay Beach. But let's pull over here, LaBouffe, and let's have a nice big goodbye. She's going to stop soon. Turn down there. There we are. Quite a busy road today. People going to and from the plage, shall we say.
I will stop here.
You'll stop here. There we go.
Not right after
Right outside one of my customers' houses. There we go.
Really?
I know the man who lives in that house, you won't mind. Receiver LaBouffe, let's have a big goodbye.
Well, it was a nice trip. I totally enjoy our drive, especially Mr. Paul shouting at me, but never mind, I'm going to have a word with
me.
you.
I know that.
We're loving you to bits, and we are going to film further down in these lovely areas here. We are very, very lucky that we've got you. Thank you for your time, attention, and what you do for us. We are humble and we appreciate all of your job for us.
All that's left for me to say is thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit the like, click subscribe. Please come back for some more of our madness. If I'm still alive, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
Bye.